Now, the race to reserve the best-placed sun lounger is a familiar one for many holidaymakers.
Do you want me in again later?
Thomas Cook may have put an end to the early morning skirmish by offering customers the chance to reserve their spot before they leave home. And that's Harry. He's getting in on it, isn't he?
Now, for £22, guests can reserve a lounger for their entire holiday.
Well, to discuss the merits of this new initiative, we're joined here in the studio by the etiquette expert Liz Brewer and from our city studio by the travel writer Lisa Francesca Nand. Thank you both very much. And Liz, what's to not like about this? I know that in lots of European countries, like Italy, for example, it's really common for families to book a space on the beach and they book it for the duration of their holiday. It's their spot. Everybody knows where they're coming and going from. It makes sense, doesn't it?
I would have thought so. Yeah, I think it's quite sensible. And we're living now in that sort of age where you like to book things online and get everything sorted out. I don't understand why anybody would complain. This is actually a test that Thomas Cook are doing, and only 20%, according to my research, are actually being let or reserved online. So the rest, those people that want to get up at 6 a.m. and scramble for a sunbed, welcome to do it. So I don't see the problem, because you're quite right. In actual fact, if you go to any reasonable beach club, you still have to pay something like €10 a day. And in fact, I think the charge is euros, not pounds, so it's €25. Again, that was pointed out to me this morning when I was discussing it. So,
Lisa Francesca Nand, what's your view on this?
I think it's a rubbish idea. I think that people have paid enough for their holiday already. They've had to pay for their flights, for their hotel. Something like sunbeds next to the pool should be included. Also, this books it out for the whole week. So what about the people who, say, would go to the pool in the morning and might go in the afternoon? Then the sunbed's going to be empty and nobody's going to be using it. I think this smacks of sunbeds for the few and not for the many, and I don't think it's a very good idea. I think it's a bit elitist, shall we say.
Liz?
Lisa, Francesca, I love your reasoning, but in actual fact, I disagree with you, partly because why shouldn't people have the right to be able to reserve? Those that don't want to reserve don't have to. You don't have to pay to reserve your sunbed. You don't have to. And I think it's a very clever idea, and you've got it for the day. And who knows, some people like to lie out in the sun all day.
I think it is a clever idea, and I think people will be earning money from it, and you don't have it for the day, you have it for the week. So I think those sun loungers are going to stay empty. And also, if you're the person paying for it, you're going to spend 25 quid. You might not even use it. You might go out sightseeing and that sort of thing. And I think it's a waste of money and people trying to get money out of you, and it might not necessarily, it's not going to be a good thing for families and for many people, I don't think.
Liz, you're disagreeing, but isn't this just a bit of a cynical money-making exercise from this travel company?
Everything is in today's world. We've sort of moved on. Nowadays, if you know we're going to pay for a holiday, we do it in advance anyway. And how good to be able to know we don't have to get up at the crack of dawn and scramble for a sunbed and throw our towels.
This is Thomas Cook. It's not some fancy beach club. This is Thomas Cook. It's not some fancy beach club. It shouldn't be. It should be for families and niceness, and there should be just a little bit give and take with that bun fight for the beach lounge. And none of us like it, but you know, there's other ways of doing it rather than charging people 25 quid.
But isn't that the problem, Lisa? That actually, you know, you might be a very nice family, but there might be other less nice families on the resort who, you know, will do all sorts of unscrupulous things to make sure that they get the best spot.
Yes, I mean, there's this myth that the Germans are there before us, which apparently is a great myth. And I think it should just, we're grown-ups, you know, it should be about a little bit of give and take. And 25 quid, or 23 pounds as it might be, once you converted it, is a lot of money for a lot of hard-working families to pay.
But, you know, it's euros, first of all, and I don't think that is a lot to pay, if it's euros.
Maybe not for you, but for some hard-working families it is.
Yeah, but they save up for their holidays, don't they? And we say it's for the week, so 23 or 25 euros to the week, when sometimes, you know, people have to pay 10 euros a day to reserve their bed. I think it's a good idea. I mean, that happens to be my opinion.
And I think this smacks of EasyJet or Ryanair. You know, what next? Are we going to have to pay to use a shower on the beach, or to pay for tap water, or to pay for other things? You know, I think it could spiral out of control, and I don't think we should pay it.
Lisa, there is the point of view, though, that you know, a lot of people have very stressful lives, and going away on holiday, you want to get rid of all the stress. And if you know you've got a spot then that removes a layer of stress, doesn't it? Which is, and especially if you've got a family, it means the kids know where you are and you know where the kids should be. And aren't those benefits?
Yeah, I think I can see that there's some benefits, but I think it's only going to move the bun fight to the digital realm, you know, away from the poolside. So we might not see people throwing gin and tonics over each other at the poolside, but people are going to be doing it online instead. And some people aren't as organised or might not be online and be able to book it in advance. So I think it is a little bit unfair.
You know something? I did a programme sitting here last year, and I was shown footage of one particular hotel, and it was something like 7 in the morning, and you saw about 100 people scrambling to throw their towels onto a bed. I think that's inhuman. So I think there is a necessity. I think if you can reserve it in advance, very clever idea.
They should probably just get enough sunbeds for everyone to go round. And if you don't have enough sunbeds, I think it's probably an organisational problem with the hotel more than anything else. Rather than charging for it, get enough sunbeds out there.
I suppose, Liz, there's also the point of view that you know, lying on a sunbed for 2 weeks for your annual holiday, you know, perhaps if the sunbeds have all gone, it might encourage you to get out and explore a bit more.
I totally agree with you, and that's what a holiday's for. It's not just to lie in the sun all day and have your cocktail, but it is, you know, people need to take advantage of going out, you know, discovering new culture, discovering new foods, etc. I'm totally in agreement with you. However,
I agree in a way.
Still nice to know, but it's still nice to know that if and when you want to, and you come back from, you know, visiting something, you've got a bed that you can lie on.
But what about people who can't use that bed in the rest of the time? They may be sitting right at the back, a mile from the pool, looking longingly at yours.
Only 20% are being reserved. The rest, you've got 80%, which all these other people can go and run and grab.
But they'll be the 20% best ones, won't they? They'll be the ones that are right there in front of the pool where everyone wants to be. And they've
not necessarily. I hate to argue it, but not necessarily. You can. A lot of people want to be in the shade. They want to read a book. They want to just be able to lie by a pool, swim, and really feel comfortable. So I disagree that they all want to be right by the pool. I don't think that's correct.
Isn't it a bit elitist, though, Liz, that you know, they're just trying to extract a bit more money from you? You know, why don't they just...
25 euros for 1 week.
Well,
divide that by 7.
People. You can get flights for a tenner.
That's about €2 a day. I mean, it's about
a lot of
pound
money
or
for some
something.
people. It really is.
I have to tell you, but if they go to a beach club, but for peace of mind, just to know that it's there for you, why not? I think they're also doing a test where you can reserve. You can actually look at the rooms before you go and reserve those too. Brilliant idea. I think this is a fantastic idea.
I think that's a very good idea, but the room is a little bit different to the sun lounger. Your room, you get what you pay for. If you can afford a big room and a suite or whatever,
but
then
you
can
have
get that.
a
sun lounger should be...
You have a choice. There's 80% that aren't reserved, 20% that are. You have a choice. How
Only
wonderful to have a choice. That's what life's about.
I didn't think that we'd have such forceful opinions about sunbeds, but thank you, ladies, both very much. Liz Brewer here in the studio and Lisa Francesca Nand in our city studio. Thank you both very much.
This is Sky News coming up.